On today's episode, we've got to see the $67-89 Tesla flying car has finally made it onto the production line at Giga Texas. We re-gone. Take a look at these new photos and see what they tell us about the Cybertruck, Cyberquad, and of course the Cyberwing. This is one of those situations where pictures are worth 1,000 words, so buckle up and get ready for the ride. The images that we are looking at today come from Joe Tetmeyer, who was kind enough to share them with the world. Joe actually managed to sneak into Giga Texas and snap some photos of the Cybertruck production floor. If you look closely in the upper right corner of this image, there it is. The $67-89 Tesla Cyberquad ATV. And then, just to the left of it, we can see another vehicle with its top removed. Is that a Cybertruck or a Cyberwing? It looks like a Cyberwing to me because the windshield is missing, and we can see all of that insane internal structure of the airframe. Now, if you've been following along with our previous videos, then you already know that the Tesla Cybertruck was spotted with its bed cover removed not too long ago. So what we're looking at here could be one of two things. First possibility is that this is the very same truck that was spotted previously, and now it's hanging out on the production floor. But the second option is that Tesla is working on two separate Cybertruck designs. In other words, a dual cab and a single cab version. We've talked about the possibility of a single cab before, but now we're starting to see some real evidence to suggest that it might actually exist. And in my opinion, that is exactly what we're looking at here. Second Cybertruck, probably optimized for ride-sharing. Compact enough to navigate city streets, and small enough to fit inside of a standard parking garage. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, your support is massively appreciated. Now let's keep going. But wait, there's more. Look at this crazy angle. You can see just how close the ceiling is to the top of the Cybertruck. That tells me that this is a very early prototype. They're still trying stuff out, and the design hasn't settled yet. Otherwise, there would be no reason to leave such low clearance between the roof and the ceiling. It's probably best to assume that this is an engineering prototype that will never make it into production. Something that Elon Musk confirmed back in April. The Cybertruck is not designed to haul passengers. It's a steel and glass tank meant to haul large amounts of stuff. Like I said back then, I think it's much more likely that this is actually a Cyberwing. Let's remember back to last year, when Tesla revealed their master plan for their transportation ecosystem. The idea is simple. Start with a fully autonomous vehicle platform, then build everything else around that. From ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft to public transit systems, taxis, airport shuttles, camping vehicles, personal trucks, and even flying cars. Possibilities are endless, and it's only limited by our imagination. If you want to learn more about this, check out our video where we break it all down in detail. But for now, let's go ahead and dive deeper into the Cyberwing. I mentioned this briefly in our last video, but one of the main advantages of having a flying car is that you do need to stop at traffic lights. Imagine sitting in your Cyberwing, and suddenly the light turns red. All you would have to do is hover above the intersection until the light turns green again. No need to slam on the brakes and block traffic below you. And that brings us to another big advantage. Flying cars are going to change the way that cities are built. With all of the extra space in the sky, we won't need wide roads or massive parking structures. Both of those things will become relics of the past. It's not just about getting from point A to point B. It's about opening up a whole new dimension of infrastructure. According to Elon Musk, the Cyberwing will have 4 individual motors, one at each wheel hub, and one motor for each wing. So how fast can this thing fly? Well, it depends on what you want to do with it. For a regular flight between 2 points, the Cyberwing should be able to hit a speed of 200 miles per hour. But if you need to make an emergency landing, then the maximum speed is 60 miles per hour. Those speeds are well below the speed of sound. Since this isn't really an airplane, it doesn't really apply. Instead, it would be better to compare these speeds to something like a helicopter or a quadcopter. When it comes to range, that's where things start to get interesting. According to Tesla, the Cyberwing will have a range of 250 miles per charge. But that's under normal flight conditions. Remember that flying creates a lot of drag and requires a tremendous amount of power. So if you were to engage the maximum speed, you could expect the range to drop significantly. Think about driving your car on the highway versus sitting at idle in traffic. Your fuel economy is going to change based on the speed that you're moving. It's probably safe to estimate that the maximum speed would cut your range in half. So that means cruising along at 200 miles per hour would use twice as much energy compared to just sitting still. Elon says that the wings will deploy automatically, which makes sense. There's no way that you would be able to fold them manually. While you're re-hovering over an intersection in downtown Manhattan, it needs to be a hands-free operation. So how do you stow the wings when they aren't in use? Obviously, they can't stay deployed because that would cause all kinds of problems on the road. Just imagine trying to parallel park a Cyberwing, so they fold in like this. In this overhead view, we can see that the rear wings are fully folded and stowed away. Up front, we can see that the side wings have been deployed. When it's time to fly, the outer edges of those side wings will extend outwards, creating the full airframe of the vehicle. It's a really cool effect. I love how it fits seamlessly into the Cybertruck bed. The entire structure is completely flush and aerodynamic when it's in the stowed position. The best part is, you can still drive it around on the road. Sure, it looks goofy, and it's probably not that practical, but you can totally do it. This is why it's so important not to judge a product based on a render. Sometimes the reality looks better than the picture, something that Elon Musk has talked about quite a bit. So we know that it can fly, and we know that it can drive. But what about servicing the vehicle? It's not practical for someone to climb inside of the Cyberwing and crawl around to get to the mechanical components. Instead, the entire top lifts off, revealing the internal structure of the aircraft. It's unclear whether or not the bed of the truck is removable, or if the entire top section of the truck lifts up. Either way, we can see that it would be very easy to access all of the critical systems of the Cyberwing. The way that I see it, this is basically like a garage door. The whole thing just slides up and out of the way, giving you direct access to the internals. Now let's talk about the interior. We already know what the driver's cabin looks like, because it is essentially the same as a Cybertruck interior. So we're mostly concerned about the passenger compartment. This is where it gets really exciting because for the first time ever, we're getting to see the interior of a Tesla flying car. The most obvious feature is the exposed carbon fiber airframe. This is what holds everything together and allows the Cyberwing to fly. Notice the thick cables running through the middle of it. Those are going to provide power to the motors and control surfaces. The real star of the show is this giant screen in the middle, which is the exact same infotainment system as the Model S and X. There's a bunch of screens around it as well, including the gauge cluster and the rear-facing camera. I bet that the outer edges of the side wings could also double as cameras, giving you a full 360-degree view around the vehicle. In terms of seating, it looks like there are 3 seats in the back, but it's hard to say for sure because they are completely empty. It could also be possible that these are just some kind of storage compartment. Overall, it looks pretty spacious back there. I wouldn't be surprised if they managed to squeeze in a 4th seat as well. One thing that's missing is a gear stick. I believe that the Cyberwing is going to be fully self-driving, meaning you wouldn't need to touch the controls at all during takeoff or landing. You would simply set your destination, and the Cyberwing would handle the rest. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Hey. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter. So sign up with the link down below. A huge thank you to all of our supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.